Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to the always informative, always entertaining, especially before the show, the Boxing Authorities. Join me at the desk, as always, the best, Mr. Luther Dupree Jr., the best, Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano.
The Hall of Famer.
Thank you. Ryan Garcia, now 23-1 with 19 knockouts, defeats Oscar Duarte, tough Oscar Duarte, junior welterweight bout with a sixth round, seventh round, eighth round TKO. Luther, your thoughts on the fight?
Well, before we start that, Jim, you called him better than Sugar Ray Leonard a couple shows ago. Is that still the case?
But he threw him under the bus too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Jim, is that still the case? That he just got is he back being Sugar Ray Leonard?
You know, I can't promote or back a guy that got a yellow streak down the middle of his.
You called him better than Sugar Ray Leonard, and now you're off the bandwagon.
Before he showed no heart against Tank Davis.
Listen, all right, let's get in this fight. Ryan Garcia.
First Mexican ever to show no heart.
All right, Ryan Garcia. He looked impressive. He was his first fight with Derrick James. The first 5 rounds, he wasn't sitting down. He was doing a George Foreman standing. Then after that, he sat down. I think we have some footage. But he was doing a Philly shell, turning sideways. I didn't understand it. He had to warn him because he kept turning sideways, Claudia. I've never seen somebody do a shell. Look at it again. Look, what is that? Jim, what is that?
They all do it. That's how they
No, not that much. Not that to that
you leave
degree.
Your whole back open. Look,
Doesn't that leave your kidney shot open?
Exactly.
Liver shot?
So one thing I noticed, that's like he's trying to protect, but he hit him with that nice left, very fast hands, very strong, and he just hit this guy with some shots. Oscar Duarte, right there, looked like he was hitting Oscar De La Hoya. Those punches he was coming with fury. Look at that. Had that leg gone. Referee got in there. And of course he did the Ryan Garcia. He waited till he got to 9 and jumped up once he got to 10. Look, he's looking. He's fine. He can get up. 8.
That's what Jersey Joe
And then
did
jumps
against
up.
Marciano
And then jumps up.
too.
Listen, Ryan Garcia, if he listens to Derrick James, he can really improve. He was moving his feet more than I've ever seen him.
Look like Sugar Ray, huh?
And
He
his
did not-
upper
it
body.
looked
But
nothing
did
like-
you like that?
I hated the shell.
Too much.
That was too much. You know, I understand trying to do the Floyd Mayweather
Yeah,
the
no,
shell,
Floyd
but you
was-
can't turn your
What
back
tattoos
like
was
that.
on his back?
He
you
got
know?
new. You always on the tattoos.
No, I'm just
man.
asking. I'm
Oh,
just
something he
asking.
wanted on his back.
You
Jim.
black folks love it, so I figured
But
you know.
he looked good. He came out with Lupe Fiasco. The song was Superstar, and he closed the show like a
knows the
superstar.
song.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it. I was wondering who he was going to come out with. He'd come out to the Superstar before. He actually had Lupe Fiasco there and came out with him. Ryan Garcia does have that star power, but
What's the best water in Mexico?
but he was impressive. I like what he did. He's calling out all the guys he should call out.
Wait a minute.
So-
Rolly. He called him
Oh,
out.
I'd love to see that
That'd
fight.
be good.
I'd
That'd be
love to
good
see it.
promotion.
We've seen them sparring, but I think this will be different.
That would
this
be
is different
big.
because he kind of punished, he kind of bullied
Who won in the
Ryan.
sparring? I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean
see
it's
it.
sparring, but it did look. The ones I saw looked like Rolly was bullying him
Was
a
he?
little bit.
Okay.
But now he's with Derrick James. He's using his feet more than ever. He looked more defensive oriented. He wasn't just looking for the left hook. Even though that's how he stopped this guy, he was throwing other punches, the uppercut.
Other angles, right.
And I like the movement. I did not like him turning sideways, almost backwards.
As disappointed as you were after the Tank fight, are you back in his camp a little bit more?
He never
Yeah,
was.
I was never.
No, you weren't
all
crazy.
aboard.
No, me and you weren't
I knew
crazy
he
about
had
it.
fast hands and talent. As I told Jim when he was calling him smoking Sugar Ray Leonard, that wasn't true. I questioned his heart and chin. I still don't know about his heart and
They're
chin.
both phony.
I still don't know about his heart and chin, but he does have fast hands. He does have power, and he showed a lot more movement. So I was impressed. I was impressed with what he did.
Thoughts about Garcia's performance?
Well, I'm like Claudio on this one. I took some notes. Tall, fast hands, right hand, uppercut off the jab was freaky. I love that I tell you what, when his opponent was backpedaling, Ryan Garcia was very awesome when he moves forward.
Yeah, right.
Super fast hands. What I noticed was he was moving and circling like Cassius Clay. If you want to lose your money, bet on Sonny. But if you want to have a good day, put it on Clay and King Ryan. So, he looked good. Only thing, like I said, Luther, I like the movement. remind me he was light on his feet like Muhammad
Oh,
Ali.
you
And that
always-
Karen.
come on.
Karen.
that's a runner, but that's okay.
Karen was running.
There's a difference, but go ahead.
So, and that's what I seen.
Now, how about his opponent that wasn't exactly hard to hit?
Right.
Okay.
That Mexican style was in his face.
Now, the thing
But
that,
but the guy did a more than adequate job of cutting off the ring, something like Bougie couldn't do. You
because
know?
Ryan didn't run.
Right.
I mean, he
Oh,
moved.
my
He
God.
moved,
Rick,
like you
you
said.
guys-
He would stay and engage. He
if
wasn't
you're
just
any
trying
good,
to
you
run.
cut the ring off. This is the easiest thing.
Not
to
if
do.
he's
not the
10
easiest
feet
thing to
away.
do.
But now you made some good observations. Different angles. That uppercut looked good. But one thing you guys, I loved his left long jab.
Yes.
And it was
Yes,
accurate.
yeah, good
Maybe
point.
because of that, Duarte wasn't exactly moving.
And
But
Derek
man,
James. Derek
Derek
James changed a lot.
Right. But the thing is, he listened to Derek James.
Except for that Philly shit. I don't think he liked him
Is that the
turning.
same Derek James as ragging Spence right now? Earl Spence? He said
He's
some
right.
negative.
What do you mean?
He
No,
said
no,
some
Jim,
negative things about
let's
him.
not do that, Jim.
He
Not
did.
just trainer since he was an amateur.
He
Jim,
said
come
some
on.
negative
Eli.
things about him.
What did he
recently.
say that was negative, Jim?
I'm not getting into
Yeah,
it.
because
It's
it's
Claudio's
not
time.
true.
It's
Yeah.
Claudio's
Hey,
time.
well, don't throw some nonsense out there, Jim.
I'll send
What
you
you
the
sipping
text.
on over there,
I'll
Jim?
send-
Stop.
I'll send you the text.
Pull the drink. Get that drink off the
After
table.
the Tank fight, I was really disappointed because, again, he didn't show. Who am I? But I thought he could have got up.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
against Rolly, he's going. That could be a great fight,
Ooh,
big pay-per-view because they're both going to sell it.
Yes.
Ain't no beats in that one. They're definitely going to be promoting that fight. Now, is Rolly a good style for Garcia?
Well, yeah, and the fact that he's sloppy, he comes in
But in
wild.
a way, that's hard though, Luth. A sloppy guy.
Not when you're a guy who's trained by Derek James. You know, you can deal with a sloppy style. You know what I mean? You don't have to get in a firefight with him, and he's going to be sticking that jab in Rolly's face. And we saw since Rolly's been at 140, he's been dropped, other than by Tank Davis. He's got dropped in his last fight, and I think he was losing to the older fighter that he was fighting his last
Well, it
fight.
seems like
So-
all Derek James's fighters is getting dropped. How many times
Oh,
does Spence go down?
Come on, man.
I'm
Listen,
just asking.
Listen, did Ryan Garcia look better? Yes. This is the best
Are you
version
back
of
on
Ryan
the
He
Garcia.
got the recipe.
Are you back on the Ryan Garcia bandwagon? Not yet.
Again, I told you
He said
before.
Muhammad Ali.
Again, I told you before, I do not back fighters that don't show courage and got a yellow streak down his back.
So you're
I
waiting.
mean, from talent, I'll never back him. Once you show me you're yellow, once I smell that on you,
You smell
listen,
that? Oh,
listen.
Jim.
I love
got a
him.
sensitive
I love his
nose.
performance. I love his talent. I love his charisma, his social media. But I cannot back a guy that's yellow.
Can I ask you a question? Not to get off.
Walk down the dark alley, he's gone. I turn around, he's gone.
It might be front runner. In other words, he's kind of a front runner, is what you're saying. When he's doing good, he's good. But if he falls behind, is that what you're kind of saying?
I'm scared to death.
Oh, come on, Jim.
Scared to death of Tank.
I'm gonna ask you-
Jim will jump off the bandwagon. man.
I don't
Jim
jump
will
off
stab you in the
bandwagon.
back.
Listen.
You'll be taking gold gloves one minute, then the next minute he'll
listen.
kick you off.
Wait,
You
I
never
can't
know.
wait to see what he does with Richard Torres.
Oh, man.
Because he's been talking about him. But
Listen.
he didn't leave Canelo though after
Right,
the Bivol
right.
Well,
fight.
listen,
He's
because
a
Canelo
fanboy.
ain't yellow.
Because he's a fanboy.
Canelo's
He's a
not
Canelo
yellow.
fanboy.
Listen,
so he'll
I
do
never
that.
left the bull, the raging bull.
Who? The Raging.
Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta's the toughest guy that
Jim
ever
was
12.
walked
He
in
was
boxing.
alone. He was there. He
I'm
was
talking
around.
about
Jim
You
was-
gotta have if
Jim
you
was
get
12.
listen. There's no cowards that gets in the boxing ring. Initially.
Exactly, so I
but
wish you would
there
stop
sure
saying
is
that.
cowards on that one knee, and he was one of them, brother.
Listen,
He walked in the ring as a man.
I'm still trying to think, and you mentioned, maybe we mentioned it a lot. Jimmy Young. When did he quit?
Never.
Jimmy Young?
Yeah.
'Cause he stuck his
Jimmy
head
Young
out.
stuck
Oh,
his
so
head
what?
out the
That was
ring,
innovative.
which is two
That was
things.
innovation.
One is illegal. Is that what you black folks call innovation?
It was innovation.
Illegal.
Nobody was doing it then. They made it because you
was
couldn't
he
get
a
his
former
head.
carjacker? And then number two, it shows you're yellow. You don't want to get hit.
Oh,
now,
Jim.
no, it's illegal,
Listen, man.
and it shows a lack of courage.
Oh, Jim.
And that's what he did throughout his
Listen,
career.
I will never disrespect a fighter like that.
Well, that's you. That's you.
But
That's
you
you.
love disrespecting people, especially if they're black
one time
fighters.
I think you and I were together. It was on the undercard. Morrison and Joe Macy fought that card, I believe, in West Virginia. I forgot what year it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, the one guy came in with the music and the big dog, and he went in there. He got hit once, Luke, and he went on the knee. I never booed a fighter in my life. But that damn guy, come on, you can't come in there like that with the girls. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, we saw one worse than that, Jim. Before you kicked me off for covering Golden Gloves, we were
remember.
covering an amateur fight.
Yeah, I
This guy got hit with 2 rights. He threw.
Oh, no, I was there.
He
Yeah,
threw
yeah,
off his
I
stuff.
lost it
He threw off
because
his
of
helmet,
him.
the gloves, and
We
stepped
weren't
out the
announcing
ring.
that fight. We
Okay.
weren't announcing it. It was at that Golden
Yeah,
Palace or whatever it was.
yeah,
88,
Yeah,
88.
Royal Palace.
Right, we were there. And that dude got stuck, and he started biting his gloves and taking them off.
Threw him out.
What's that?
And threw him
Threw
out.
him out.
Ran out
And
the
he got,
ring.
I'm getting, and then he started with me, and I was done. It's
That's before he kicked both of us off.
He dogged both of us. Yeah, he likes us. He dogged both of us.
Smoking Jim
But
Productions.
I lost it. Oh my God.
Backstabbing Productions.
What's that logo?
Right,
Show me
right.
a knife.
I'd like to see that one, Jim.
All right. Devin Haney vacates the lightweight belts before he's moving up to 147. He's going to be fighting Regis Prograis. I'm going to throw a curve at our producer, Doug. But I'm going a little bit ahead of schedule here with the Prograis fight. But your thoughts on him vacating the titles, which you did say was going to happen.
Listen, man, Devin Haney is a growing young man. He wasn't able to make, I don't know how he was making 135. And we saw him before the Lomo. He looked
ribs
very
out.
sick, face sunken in. You know, he looked
Gaunt, as they
Yeah,
say,
he
yeah.
looked very bad. I'm glad he
Gaunt
moved up.
means like you look like you're shriveling up and like you don't feel
But
good.
listen, Devin Haney is doing everything that we want fighters to do. You fight the best out there. He went overseas to fight Kambosos to become undisputed. Now he's going up fighting the biggest puncher, one of the biggest punchers at 140.
The guy you liked for a long time.
Yeah, I've liked him for a long time. He's getting a little older, 35 now. Devin Haney's 25, so there's an age gap. But Devin Haney has to be careful. I still give the advantage to Devin Haney. I think we're going to see his boxing skills, and he's going to be more powerful because he's not cutting so much weight. I give a slight advantage to Devin Haney. But
Slight?
A slight, because Regis he's never been hit at 140. Regis is a power puncher, and he throws crazy angles, and he has power, legitimate power, maybe one of 2 or 3 strongest hitters at 140, but I think Haney's foot movement, defense, I think he's going to be able to win it with the jab, and we're going to see so much more power from Devin Haney
Did you like Devin Haney's chin at 140?
at 135.
135.
At 135, yeah, listen, he got
Is it
caught-
going to come up?
I believe so. Without the drastic weight cut, I think we're going to see a much better version of Devin Haney.
okay.
And more power. More power. I think I see a 12-round decision just
Oh.
because he's going to move. He's for Haney. But he's going to have to watch out. Listen, I've told you, I was always high on Regis Prograis. But I just think he's going to be in with a skilled boxer who's been doing this, studied under Floyd Mayweather, studied in a Mayweather gym. He's grown up for this. I just think the boxing skills are going to be a little too much for Regis Prograis.
They always talk about a punch moving up, but they don't talk about a chin moving up. Do you think Haney's chin will move up? And your thoughts on the fight?
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest Grant, run! Forrest Gump, run! Hey, listen, like I told you guys before, you know what I mean? Louis Farrakhan likes his soldiers to be large,
Jim,
and Malcolm
stop.
extra large. But this guy, 147, Louis must be eating a box of chocolates. Hey,
He's a
listen,
big kid. He's
fights
a
we
big-
never seen, Claudio. Sugar Ray ran from Aaron Pryor. Shane
No.
Mosley ran from
Stop,
Felix
Jim.
Trinidad.
Oh.
Lennox Lewis ran from the Klitschko era.
He beat
Floyd
the Klitschko.
Mayweather
He's fake
ran
news.
from Casa Zoo.
Stop.
And now Devin
Blasphemy.
Haney, Devin X is running from Tank Davis. Listen,
What are you talking about?
Regis is nothing but a club fighter. He's cherry picking again. And
How's
then
it
once he
cherry-
takes that title, he'll vacate it because Tank may move up to go to 147. It's ridiculous.
You don't like Haney at all?
I love him.
No, you don't.
Because I tell you what, Jesse Owens' record would be in
No.
jeopardy.
I
This
think
guy,
he's great.
I like to see him in the 100-yard dash. Because
Wait. That guy, Karen. You think?
no, I'm not saying he's running in
That's
the
what
ring.
you said,
I'm
Jesse
saying
Owens.
he's running from competition.
Oh.
He's running from
How?
competition.
He went to Australia twice.
First, he fought a bum.
Jim, if you
he
can't
went to
make
Australia to fight a bum. Listen.
Did he have the belt?
Let me just
Did
say
he have the
this.
belt?
Let me just say this.
You
Let me
love
just finish
disrespecting
this.
fighters.
Let me just finish this. The guy couldn't make 135 until he saw Vasily. Vasily looked bad in the fight. All of a sudden, he could make it. But Silly beat him silly.
Fake news.
And
He's been
they
complaining about
robbed him.
135 for
They
over
robbed
2
Vasily.
years.
Huh?
He's been complaining about
Don't
making
forget, when you're
135 for over 2
135
years.
in the ring, I mean, what was he during the
Right.
fight?
Well,
He's
if you
cutting-
don't have no discipline, it takes discipline.
Jim,
he never.
he's a growing young man, Jim.
Did he grow 7 inches?
You don't
'Cause
have to
only
grow
how
7
you
inches.
lose.
When
Listen, Claudio's the same weight he was in high school.
You
Yes,
are.
I was.
Because he's the same height,
You
right?
aren't. Jim, you aren't the same
No,
weight,
used to
and
like-
neither am
I
I.
used to be 6'1".
See? Listen, if you're not taller, you know what I
I
mean?
wish I was a baller.
Robinson.
I wish I had a girl in a diamond I call her.
Robinson.
Hell with Max
Who's
Kellerman.
that-
I know rap
who's
too.
that NBA guy from the Navy, Robinson?
David Robinson.
He
David
was 6'6" in the Navy, then he grew to 7 foot, and they kicked him out because he was too tall for the Navy. So now you can put on weight, but if you're the same height, you don't have to put on weight.
Frame.
It just takes
Jim,
discipline.
Jim.
It's all them bean pies putting weight on him,
Jim,
Lou.
listen, that was some horrible
Well,
analysis
that's
there,
because
Jim.
you don't understand.
No, because you're
It's
making
always
up
horrible
stuff.
when you don't
Because you're
understand.
making up stuff.
I got a
So-
PhD.
In what? In BS? In BS is what you got to put.
I'm Dr. J.
The man could not make weight. It was unhealthy.
he
we
sure
saw
made it.
Virgil. We saw Virgil Ortiz trying to cut so much weight he kept ending up
Vinny
in the
fought
hospital.
Mayweather Senior, whichever Mayweather it was, on the Lalonde Leonard card,
In or
November of
outside of
'88.
prison?
Give him some, drop
What's
some
that?
knowledge on
In or
him.
outside of prison.
But Vinny, they had to take him to the hospital
Exactly.
because, long story short, Vinny walks around at
Vinny
160.
thick. Vinny thick.
But he was fought at 140, 135 that night. He damn near died. Okay,
Exactly.
you lose that kind of weight.
Is Haney thick? He ain't thick like Vinny put
Haney's
together.
a big.
Vinny could
What
have
did
been a wrestler or a
What did Lomo
bodybuilder.
say when he came? Hey, he's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's a
Lomo
natural.
said that?
Yes, when he
In
came
what-
in-
In what language?
In what language? Jim, the fight against our
think-
guy, Jermaine Ortiz,
Jermaine Ortiz.
after he got victory, I thought Ortiz won it. Haney came into the ring, and Lomo said, whoa, you're a heavyweight. He's a
Yeah, that
naturally
was it.
big
Yeah,
guy.
because he
He's
got
a nat-
fat.
No,
he
he's
got
a
fat.
big guy, Jim.
No, he
He's
just
cutting
didn't.
weight.
Like we said, the first thing we said on the show, we saw that weigh-in. Said, "Damn, his cheeks were drawn in, his ribs. It wasn't a six-pack. He just looked a little bit different."
Yeah.
And I think he's at a much healthier weight.
I think
now.
he's really, him and Ryan Garcia are huge to be at 140.
Yeah.
I don't know how either one of those guys were making
Now,
135.
and bodies are different. What's the big boy who's like 6'6"? He's a lightweight.
Oh,
Not Berlanga.
No, I know you're talking about
God, Luther. You know
yeah,
what
the
I'm
one who
talking
got knocked
I
out.
think Haney get
with the
down
sister. His
130.
sister
Yeah,
fights.
sisters.
His sister is in the ring with him all the time.
Oh, yeah, 6'6". He got the same body type Haney.
But
No,
no,
stop, Jim.
no. Haney can put some weight on his frame.
He
The
is.
tow-
The Towering Inferno,
Yes, yes.
To wear that bow tie, Haney been Come on, he don't have the discipline.
When we
man.
come back, we're going to talk more about this weight division. So come on back to the boxing authorities. Welcome back to the boxing authorities. Luther figured it out. It was Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the big boy.
Now that's a guy I still don't know how he's making 154, but he just
But he doesn't look terrible.
Discipline.
yeah, he looks like he
Maybe
needs
that's
a
just him.
steak.
Well,
to
I ain't
me.
gonna-
He looks like he needs
We
want to smoke a
definitely don't
Jim
need another
steaks.
bean pie.
Now, since now Shakur is the WBC lightweight champion
Yeah, that
after
was a- that
defeating
was a-
Edwin De Los Santos.
Disappointing fight. That was a
Very,
very disappointing.
IBF title looks like it will be determined by the winner of the Kambosos.
Did I not tell you that was the
Lomachenko.
next fight
I was
over
gonna
a year ago?
I was going to say my boy is. He doesn't just say it a year ago. You did call it. Now, are you interested in that fight? Because I
No.
am. Why?
Lomo's going to walk over him. He was so damaged by Devin Haney, he's never going to be the same. Lomachenko is going to destroy him in 12 rounds. It's going to be an absolute beating, just like he took with Devin Haney.
And then and then Tank Davis. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Your comments on Kambosos and
Well, you know, Kambosos is a club fighter, and Lomo is a
He
Hall
beat,
of Famer.
he beat your guy,
Which
Tio.
you did say a long time
He
ago.
beat your boy, Tio. You said what? What about
No,
Lomo?
he was
Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay.
Now Tank Davis will be elevated to the WBA.
If he
champ.
takes it. I heard he was talking about not even taking
Why?
it. He doesn't need a belt. Some guys don't
He
need
does-
a belt.
But he's got to have a
What-
belt. A lot of people
why
think
does
he's
he
a
have to-
champ.
Why? He doesn't need a belt. He's bigger than belts. And who'd he come up under? Floyd Mayweather. Did he pay a lot of sanctioning fees? No.
Okay, that is a good point. That is good. In all honesty, if I was the WBA, I would not want him to pay a sanctioning fee because I would want him representing my belt.
Yeah.
You got money, so don't tell me that it's all about money.
Yeah, they
Would
want
you
that
do that if you were
percentage.
that?
I mean, no, their whole thing is to get, you get a permitted percentage of their fights.
Okay, after the,
But I
we'll
think-
give you the belt, no sanctioning fight, your first title defense. But doesn't that give their organization
Oh, it does. It does.
status?
But if you're Tank Davis, what? You don't need a belt.
Well, if I'm the WBA,
You're the-
I
you're the-
gotta
you're the highest
agree-
paid 135.
I agree with you, Claudia. I wouldn't charge him sanctioning fees, but the only thing I would want is him not to rob me.
Oh, come
Crime
Jim.
time!
Stop,
Is
Jim. Stop. You always
But this is one of the
you
best.
gotta hold something against somebody.
This is
man.
or Jermaine Ortiz, which we will get him on the show eventually. But this is a nice competitive division with some nice names.
Yeah, I mean, we
And
need them
names
to fight
sell.
each other. Frank Martin also. I think Frank Martin, will be in the mix for one of his belts.
Ghost looked bad this last fight. If we can
He
get,
not-
just get
he won.
if we can just get that runner back in 135.
I don't think you'll see him anymore.
Listen, what run are you talking about? The
Devin
undisputed
Haney.
king
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about?
running.
The
Biggest
guy.
biggest fight in the division.
Oh, it's got to be Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. I mean, that's the biggest fight. But Shakur's going to have
He's
to step up his
130,
game.
ain't he?
No, he
He's
moved
up
up
to
to
135.
135. They're all in the same division.
Who do you like?
Man, Tank Davis, I can't put anybody at 135 beating him. It'd be tough with Shakur because he does so much moving. He has the longer arms, and he'll be on his horse the whole fight.
How about if Devin X had one more fight at 135?
He
Him
can't
and
make
Tank?
it. He can't make it.
No, I'm asking the question because he short made it his whole career. But I'm just saying, we're asking
And he was
hypothetical.
struggling to make it,
I'm
Jim.
just saying, if he could make it one more
Genetics.
time, who would win between him and Tank?
That's a tough fight, but I kind of think at 135 because he can't make the weight, Tank Davis
Yeah,
would win.
Tank.
Am
At
I wrong in
135.
saying this? Shakur is more talented, but Tank
More talented than who?
than Tank. He has
Yes,
more skills, but Tank wants it more.
Yeah.
Which means,
Yeah.
again,
I don't think
Tank's
you
a
all.
killer.
I don't think
Yeah.
you all have
He's
seen.
a
Listen,
beast.
we haven't seen all of Tank's skills yet.
okay,
Think about
That's
how many.
what he just said.
No, we haven't seen. You're saying Shakur's a top. I don't
Right
know.
now.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I think right
Because,
now.
Listen, we've seen Tank Davis win a fight all kind of ways. One punch, out faking you. Boxing IQ. Look what he did to Rolly. He ran him into something. Look what he did to Ryan Garcia.
no doubt.
Body shot.
No doubt.
Look what he did to all these guys. He's won so many different ways. We've seen Shakur win one way.
How did he win against the pit bull?
With one hand, one broken hand, he won with one hand. Thank you, Jim, for adding to my point.
One
We've
hand.
seen him win a number of different ways. I think you
But
guys
we
are
never seen
underselling
him
Tank
win as
Davis.
an athlete because he got short arms. He's not going to be.
Shit.
He's not going to be like
He's-
Stevenson
that
and moving
is
around athletic.
the short arms is what kind of gets me. Now I'm sorry. Go ahead. You
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. I'm
he
saying
got heavy
you're
feet,
saying
so he's
you're
not.
saying
No, I'm saying it's not a bad thing.
Athlete.
He said he
Those
got
are,
more
that's just a
skill.
that's your makeup. Athlete. He's one of the fastest guys at that division.
How about his
He's one of the
feet?
hardest.
How about the feet and the short arms?
Listen,
I
Tank
know he
Davis,
can do a
Tank
backflip.
Listen, if you saw Tank Davis was on the back foot against Rolly. He was on the back foot against Rolly. We've seen him on the back foot. We've seen him on the back foot.
But did
We've
he
seen
look
him
like-
coming
did he
forward,
look like
even
Cassius
against the
Clay
pit
or
bull with
Muhammad
one
Ali?
arm.
Did he
We
look
saw
like
him on the
Sugar-
back.
You never seen him look like Sugar Ray
Well,
Leonard.
but how
many
Before
do?
Steven-
There's
before
only one-
Stevens do.
there's only a
That's
few guys
it's
that
no
could be
knock.
Sugar.
We're not knocking him.
You are.
We're just saying, he just said he's not the athlete Stevenson is, which
do you
is
know
true.
that? Do you know that?
Do you
How do
think-
you know that?
Well, I seen Mike Tyson play basketball.
Have you seen Tank Davis?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Have you seen Tank
Good
Davis
point.
play?
What did I tell you about the Buster Tyson fight?
Yeah.
Before the fight, Buster was bouncing up and down. You couldn't hear.
Couldn't hear it.
Listen,
Tyson.
I'm going to send you all some tape. Since you said that,
Well, you
both
already
are wrong.
sent me one. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah. What
Him
tape I sent you?
dancing and
Oh, we ain't gonna send.
Can-
I'm gonna send you.
Can you
him
send me the
running-
90 days
I'm
he was in jail? I
I'm
want to
gonna
see
send
that.
you to him running a 40-yard dash.
Who, Tank?
Tank Davis.
You know who's also fast is the Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather can run, man.
And you, once I show
But I
you this
put
tape,
Devin X against India.
once I show you the tape, Gervonta Davis running this 40 and running up these steps, you guys will change your mind.
Let me ask you something before I forget.
Did he take short, choppy steps?
Well, hey, you and I always talk about feet. Let me ask you something before I forget. Let me go back to Ryan Garcia and the what did you call it again? The Philly.
Oh, the Philly shell.
Is
I
that
don't know,
in
something
football
else. That wasn't
when
a
one
Philly
team
shell.
did the Wildcat, everybody did
Everybody
the
doing it,
run
yeah.
shear, everybody. baseball, everybody does the pitching changes. Everybody
Yeah,
does
good
it.
point.
Do you think you're going to see more of that?
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, you can't turn.
Soon as somebody's hitting the kidneys
somebody's
or
gonna
liver.
It seemed like he was protecting that right side, which is what Tank Davis knocked him out on, that right rib cage.
So you're
He's
saying
got a rib
Derek-
cage on the left
So you're
side,
saying
too.
Derrick James is hurting him more than
No,
helping him.
I don't think Derrick James wanted him to do that.
Why? He come from Floyd.
Have
Did
you
he
ever,
come from Floyd?
have you ever seen Derrick James fighters do that shell turning like that? I
Yeah,
have
Floyd
not.
Mayweather.
No, Jermell Charlo doesn't do it.
Not to that
Errol
degree.
Spence
Well, we ain't
doesn't
seen
do
him
it.
Look,
in
he's trying to
3
take my
years.
watch
Yeah.
on the
there you
air.
go.
Rewind that.
I got
Come
a
on,
little tank
Jim.
in me. I got a
hell?
little tank in me.
I didn't read. Remember they called it a
I like
pickpocket.
that.
He was
Right.
going like this. And all of a sudden,
I was trying for your
Damn,
ring. I was
Jim.
trying for your championship ring.
Oh, goodness.
all right. I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah.
But I think I said both of them would retire undefeated. And obviously, neither one's going to.
Not all
if
these
they
guys
fight.
can retire.
But Shakur, do you think that last fight, which I was very disappointed,
Yeah.
but so was he. Do you think it was just a bad night at the office, or is he on, like he said about Tank a long time ago, he was on the way down? Is he?
I don't think he was on his way down. I don't think he likes to get hit. There's certain guys who really, you hit them.
So that's the game plan?
That's why I give
Tank's
Tank
gonna
the
hit him?
advantage. That's why if he can get to him, he's on that horse with those long arms. He's very athletic.
He's on the what?
That horse. He's
Oh,
moving.
okay. All right.
Come on now. I'm
right.
not Jim.
Okay,
Horse.
now, again, we've talked about this before. We'll go over it again. This is a mailbag question from Donald from Maryland. With Showtime done, HBO gone, all that's left is ESPN and DAZN, and regular pay-per-view. Is this bad for boxing? What would you guys do for more eyeballs in boxing? We did cover it, but let's go over it again for Donald.
Okay, thanks, Donald, for the question. Yes, those are out, but I think what you're going to see, as I made the prediction, PBC, who used to fight on Fox and Showtime, they're going to move over to an app like Amazon Prime or something like that. That's what you're going to see next. And what I would do to get more eyes, these guys have to get more invested in the social media. The biggest fight this year was what? Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis.
Not Crawford Spence?
No, in terms of pay-per-views.
Okay.
Who sold more? Ryan and Tank Davis. And why? Did they go on the talk shows late at night? No, they didn't. They did over 1.4 is the last I heard. And how did they do it? They have a huge social media following, and they have a lot of youngsters and people throughout, rappers, entertainers that follow them.
Who was the network?
It was a PPC event. It was a PPC
Fox.
pay-per-view, Showtime pay-per-view.
Okay, my question is, like, for example, on ESPN, when they have a boxing match, they'll talk about it during the basketball game. Who else promoted that event?
All I saw was, I just saw Showtime. Listen, but that's what I'm saying. Those guys have a big enough social media following, like a Logan Paul, like a Jake Paul, where they do their own promotion. So these guys have to get more heavily involved in social media. That's why they're so much bigger. If Errol Spence and Bud Crawford had a bigger social media following, I think it would have been a much bigger event. So these guys got to get out there and really promote themselves because the promoters aren't doing it. You see these people are moving away.
Yeah, which I think is ridiculous. But Jim, you and I are older, and
Dinosaurs.
we've talked to guys in their 60s and 70s because Jim and I get along with everybody.
Dinosaurs.
Like your boy. But don't you think you're eliminating the 65 plus from? They're not going to go get an app. They want to click.
You guys
on
are on
the TV.
apps. You guys are on Facebook. You guys are on YouTube. You guys are already on apps.
But 65, 70-year-old guys who are big boxing
Well,
fans.
Jim's
for
way
years.
over 65.
Well,
I think.
All I can say is this: Santa Claus can deliver toys to 1 million kids out of one mailbag quicker than Luther can answer a mailbag question. Listen, that answers the reason why we can't get a media award, Lou. First of all. There's only. Listen,
because
what
we
you're
got
talking
haters
about-
like you that
What
won't.
you're talking about, which is
Right,
not a
haters.
bad thing, which is not a bad thing. But what you're talking about is to go from one boxing to another. Listen, I'm telling you, what made Muhammad Ali popular was when the Beatles endorsed him. When Elvis gave him that role.
It wasn't his-
There's only two ways to make boxing more popular. number one is if somebody go after Beyonce and get her to all the fights. But the second way, Lou,
Taylor
is
Swift?
Oh yeah, hey.
Taylor Swift.
Thank
Look at Kelsey.
Yeah,
You're right. You're
and
right.
the second way, and thank you, Claudio, because Luther will never say those words. I'm right, or he'll be here all day. And the second way is you have to network with something. Boxing, if I was the commissioner of boxing right now, I would network with the WWE. It's the most popular
Okay,
brand
all right.
in the world.
Co-promotion.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So now you getting them, listen, right now the Paul brothers are popular, but I would say that Logan Paul has now surpassed Jake Paul because he's the one of the WWE
Can he
champions.
headline a card?
Pardon me?
If they headline
You
their
just
own card.
gave credit to him. Now you're down.
Jake Paul, but I'm saying
Is he
you're-
iffy?
Can I so Jake Paul and Logan Paul who could headline a card and get more people to watch?
I'm just saying.
I'm
in my
just
opinion,
asking.
I'm not sure.
I'm just
Lou, 'cause
asking.
I'm not-
Jake Paul,
I'm
the
not in
numbers
that
back up
world,
Jake
but
Paul.
I tell you, can walk into an arena and it be filled as Logan Paul.
And so
In
can
the
Jake Paul.
WWE,
Jake
not,
Paul
not WWE right now because Logan Paul's the champ.
and his brother's not at those events.
No,
Logan Paul's brother,
sometimes.
Jake. So he has the
Sometimes.
same
Now, he hasn't
audience,
been there
Jim.
for a while. But I'm just saying, because Jake was so far ahead of Logan. Logan was trying to fight guys like Mayweather and them. Now Logan Paul can fight
Because
for a
he
world
jumped on, he
championship.
jumped into
For
WWE.
Yeah.
To
And
get-
how come
because-
boxers are not jumping?
You know, that is a
co-promotion.
good point
Thank you.
because this way, the wrestling fans aren't necessarily boxing fans, but if you bring the boxer over, tell the story, promote the fight, now you get those eyes. And that's a good point.
Let me just give you one example. Who was the black kid that made the country and western song that time? That young boy. Remember, it was so popular. It crossed up last year.
Charlie
Remember?
Pride.
No. You know what I'm talking about.
You got
I
Rudy
know.
and the Blowfish.
Yeah,
I know you're
it
talking.
was very popular. This is
Oh,
young
the one
kid.
that played the pit game every
Oh,
5
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
Yeah,
him.
old
I
town
hate
So
that
now,
song.
now
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
crossed over the urban audience to country and western because
Good.
this guy
What do
was
they call it?
putting
Crossover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they loved it.
a good
You
point.
got to learn to cross
Good,
over a little
Luther.
bit. Lou. And
Give
you
him a
did
little
it
bit of
on-
credit.
Slim, you did it on the basketball court, or you're doing it on the basketball court. You have to, you have to do that.
No, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah,
good
I
point.
mean, it takes a certain person to be able to cross over. Like
Yeah,
it's not
somebody
that
bigger
easy.
than Floyd Mayweather because he tried to do it.
He was in wrestling.
Yeah, he
He
looked
kno-
so little.
he knocked
Nobody
out-
took him serious.
knocked out-
He looked like a.
Did he knock
he
out-
looked like a
and he
milk guy.
And he knocked out the Big Show.
He ran.
Oh,
he ran
but
like.
he clocked
But then
him.
he
clocked
knocked
him.
out the Big
He
Show.
clocked him. But you know what? We've had a few emails from grandfathers who they said, I don't know how many, but they said watching boxing with my grandson, or they watch our show
Yeah.
with my grandson.
Yes, that's great.
But which is nice. But we can't eliminate the 65 plus boxing fans.
It's not
They
eliminated,
would-
it's bring them on board. I just proved that both of you guys, dinosaurs that you are on apps already.
What was it? The former NBA guy Kemp with his grandkid.
Oh, God. Sean Kemp.
Oh man, he would bring it on.
Leave the jump man alone, man. He was.
Okay, but do you think it now? Jim has talked about numerous times about, and I've said it too, when Boom Boom fought on CBS.
Yes.
They had millions of viewers.
Yes.
Now, if somebody gets 300,000 pay per view, they go crazy.
Yeah.
And what do you
Free
say about Muhammad
TV and
Frazier?
pay-per-view is different.
300 million worldwide went through the theaters to watch it on closed circuit. TV.
That I would like to see make a comeback is going to the movie theaters. Then you get the older
Yeah.
people to go. What do you think of that movie
Listen,
theater?
they do have some of the matches. I've seen some of the matches in movie theaters. They do. You have
Now,
to
would
look
you
around.
say that the big ones should be in the movie theater? That's what I think.
I would open it up.
I
would open it
think
up.
that-
But
In,
now,
in Saudi Arabia, do they count all the people buried in the desert that had to fight?
I ain't messing
Are
with
those
that.
the numbers?
We're not me and Luther aren't messing with
Only
that.
Jim.
But can you now this thing in December 23rd, which I'm thinking about getting.
DAZN, yeah.
I'll be there.
Oh, is that the zone?
It's a DAZN. It's a
I'll
DAZN.
be, I'll be
match.
there, Claudia.
It's on DAZN.
I got to see how much it is. But if it's ridiculous, I mean, it should be what in the 80s. You're pretty good about that.
We'll get it. I'll get it for you guys. We'll watch it.
I'm cheap.
Maybe we'll do,
No, I'm
maybe
not
we'll
cheap,
do
I'm frugal.
maybe we'll do a show for you. We'll do a show.
We should do it
I
from my
got
house.
you,
That'd
yeah.
be good. But I like the idea Now, that was years ago. My dad, I forgot which fight it was that he saw, but he went to a movie theater.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in the 50s.
Yeah.
And I want to say Marciano Lewis was at the theater.
Sure was.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea because it's, like a 65, 70-year-old guy is not going to download, upload. Hell, I don't want to do it. Upload, download. That's
don't
what I
have
call
to.
him. Just tell me how to do it. You know, he's the dog when it comes to that. But do you think it's bad that CBS, ABC, and all?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see it back on there, but I told you why it's not. And I'm not sure it's going to come back for a while.
How about this?
Said it, we
No,
not
what-
convinced
how
with
about
it.
Well, the
if they
proof
used
is in the pudding. It's not back. It's just on ESPN.
How about if the zones used I shouldn't give this idea away for nothing, but use like a CBS or a regular station as a minor league system.
I like that.
Okay, have Luther Dupree's 4-0 against Smoking Jim Frazier, who's 4-0, and then build a fan base. And then when they get to a certain level, then they're no longer on that station. What the hell am I doing here? Then they come to
How come
us.
nobody watches college basketball all year long, but
Final
in
Four.
March Madness, everybody watches it, even women? Yeah, I mean, what are they
It's
doing?
an
that
event.
boxing's
Even
not
women?
doing?
Okay,
It's an
Jim.
event.
I'm just.
It's more of an event.
Yeah.
But-
yeah, you got to make it big, make it sellable.
All right, when we come back, our popular segment, the boxing mailbags. Come on back to the boxing authorities. Welcome back to the boxing authorities. Before we go to our popular segment, boxing mailbag, Luther and Jim had some good comments. You mentioned the Final Four, how everybody watches it. Luth, go ahead.
Yeah, well,
Take credit for his. No, I'm just kidding.
Jim has no good ideas. No, he has a few. He has a few. But I was saying, what if at the beginning of the year they started off, had like an elimination, and at the end of the year, towards the end of the year,
Like
you
a
had a
WrestleMania?
championship, and just do it every year. That would build, a following. That would build a championship base. That would build excitement.
Sound like you're back on TV and away from the maps.
No,
So I agree with that.
It's not going
I agree with
backwards.
that.
Even so-called
Sounds like
network
it
TV,
is.
If
network
people
TV is
don't
going
go on
to
the
apps,
apps
Jim.
and buy it, don't go back. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
You look like I threw you a curveball.
Yeah.
Am I right? If it's not
It's
selling,
not going backwards, fellas.
what about this event that's
not
coming
going
up on the
backwards.
23rd?
On the zone.
That's almost like a WrestleMania.
Yes.
Almost.
Yes.
What do you think of? See, the problem with that
It's
is
still not being promoted.
it's not.
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, it
doesn't
does,
have to
Luther,
be.
it does. How the hell
And
people
they,
gonna
and
know
they,
about it?
and they are promoting it. I had to send you guys the weigh-ins. It's all on
That week-
YouTube.
That week promotion.
Of the 20 of the
Yes, I
23rd?
sent that to you with the Wilders and the Joseph Parkers. I
I
sent that.
just watched the NFL this weekend. I watched college football all weekend. I didn't see it anywhere. Why ain't there on there?
because
And they got the money to promote it.
The
Thank
zone's
you.
not pushing it on there.
Yeah, like I said, they're not promoting it.
How? Okay, we have our hands in the soil, as Fran Tarkenton says. So obviously we're going to know about it. But I guarantee you, I know 3 of my friends who are huge. Eric Jackson Lurie,
Yeah.
huge boxing fan. Does he know about it?
No.
I don't think he does. My friend Rick Mitchell, you met Rick. Does he know about it? I don't think
And
they
that's
do.
that's a problem with the zone. That's
Right, that's what Jim-
that's a problem with the zone. They have to get better at
They're still at the
promoting.
train stations handing out flyers.
But they back then
It worked.
They worked, and that's what I used to do for our scouting company. Whenever we would have an event, we put a
And
blurb.
you know how
in
they're
the-
doing it? They're doing it on social media. If you guys were looking at your Facebook, you probably see the ads for
MC
the
Hammer
zone.
used to hand all his DVDs out the trunk of his car.
Yes, he did. But I still have you
go
seen any
way
pop-ups
back.
on your phone or anything? I've not seen zilch.
You all must have them blocked.
No, I just haven't seen anything. Okay, our popular segment, Boxing Mailbag. Please continue to send your great comments and questions to boxingmailbag@yahoo.com. Luther, Sammy from LA, does the ring floor size of the ring up for discussion, or are they all standard? In other words, like the boxing gloves they have to do, or the ring size?
No, there's some rings that are larger. Like I think in the Canelo Rider, that was the smallest ring I've ever seen in my life. They wanted to make sure a rider couldn't move around. But there are some larger ones. The first Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, that was a large ring because Plant wanted to move around.
But he also means the texture. Some are tighter, where
Yeah.
a dancer can move, and some
Right,
are not.
yeah,
Are they
it's-
doing that? I haven't seen the softer ones in a long time.
I don't know. I I still think it's a variety because you have some smaller. They have to be a certain size and some larger rings.
All right.
You know.
Luther and Claudio. And just Luther and Claudio. Sammy again from LA. You both are spot on about female boxing.
Yes.
Jim, the female fighters today are more advanced
Yes.
than the 70s, 80s, and 90s, even.
Sammy's a
70s
smart
and 90s.
man.
They were tough back then, no doubt. But there are more better fighters today. Female
Yes.
boxing is growing big time.
Sammy's is the place I used to get my good corned beef down there in Upper Hill.
I think it's still there.
Is it? Okay. Well, again, just because Sammy, Luther, Claudio says it, don't make it true.
The film says it.
It's not. It's not. as
video
good as
says it,
as
Jim.
was, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When they fight now, are they doing this or are they mechanically much better?
Well, first of all, from 100 pounds to 300 pounds, there's only 10 women. That's why they keep fighting
not
each other.
true.
Whether they're 100
Jim.
pounds
The
or
same
30,
ones keep
are they
fighting each
mechanically,
other.
technically better?
Not as good as the 80s. Not as good as the 80s.
Okay, name
You
me
guys,
some.
you guys
Jim,
you guys misremember.
They had Mia St. John.
They had
Christy-
great. They had.
but that-
great,
there's a
Martin,
three of them.
Layla Ali.
They had great fighters. Christy Martin would dominate today,
I'm not saying she wouldn't,
and
but
she had 8 losses. And so she had to be fighting some great. I'd say all the time.
She kinda lost
when I
towards the end,
when
though.
I drive down the street.
But he doesn't hold that.
When I
against her.
drive down the
Like
street or
Evander.
go past the playgrounds, it's empty. When I was coming along, every day after school, somebody was fighting in every community, girls and guys. I know your aunt went upside your head because she fight. Y'all act like women could fight back then. They fought. These women today don't have an amateur background. They're
they have an-
inexperienced as a
Jim?
pro. They're getting trained by somebody that want to take them to bed.
Jim, you're completely off. We even had
mean,
Christy Martin. That
Did your
backed
aunt?
us.
Did your aunt go upside your head?
Well,
I
we
had
had
every
the video.
neighbor.
What was her
Every
name?
neighbor was allowed to
and
spank me.
And that's the problem. That's why you got CTE now. All the
was a fight,
spankings and all that.
Taylor Cameron. And they were, or even Serrano,
yeah.
they were throwing nice jabs, left,
Had
right,
your hands
combinations.
up,
Yeah, had your hands
combinations.
up.
What's,
Great
what's the most
jab.
popular weight class in women's boxing right now?
not saying-
135, 140.
Whatever Serrano's-
Name me quick. Name me 10
Well,
real
again,
quick.
well,
Jim,
you
can't.
Jim.
You can't because
You can't
they're
name
still
10.
climbing.
You can't name 10
That's why
fighters.
Serrano
Give me 10
keeps
fighters
fighting
from back
Katie
then,
Taylor.
Jim. Give me
Huh?
10 fighters from back in the year.
Luther,
You can't.
It's not going to prove me right
so,
or wrong. I'm
Jim,
already right.
You are not
Because
right.
you guys aren't
Christy
listening.
Martin
Listen,
said
if I
we're
tell
right.
you this, if I tell you this, first of all, there ain't no Layla Ali's today. None. Not
As
even
far
your
as
girl.
what looks you mean.
I mean talent. Layla Ali was a superior
Okay, she was a
talent,
great talent,
Now, let me
yes.
say this. Christy Martin was also so talented. And Christy Martin lost to 8 different women.
So does
goes
that
to
mean
show
she's
you
not
right
that
now-
talented?
No,
Does
that
mean-
means that she was fighting some great
Or-
people.
And who were they?
How many did Layla Ali lose to?
None. That's why I
Okay,
said she
Who
was
did
superior.
Muhammad?
So she was up here.
No, she was
Christy
bigger.
Martin was.
But who was
Right now,
Christy
Layla Ali will walk through the heavyweight division because there's no heavyweights.
Was she a heavyweight?
Yeah, it's
how-
over 175 is
Okay,
heavyweight.
there's still 175, Jim.
No, where? Who's the champ, Lou? We had one on there. We had one on the show, and she couldn't get a fight. She went there.
Oh,
she
yeah,
went
but you
there.
can't.
She went there. Won the national
She was in the
championship.
Masters division, Jill. Stop. Jill.
No.
You can't go to the Masters division and try to prove your point.
She told the dude, "Put on the wig. I'll
Overall,
fight you."
we all know women today are better fundamentally.
No.
They're
Let me
more
ask you
sound,
this real quick.
And it's a
Are
better
other
version.
boxing shows talking about women?
No.
I mean, well, I'm saying my point is there's more attention given to women's boxing
Headlining
now.
Madison Square
That's a
Garden,
big one.
selling
There
it
ain't no
out.
Vanessa Del Rios today.
Very good, Jim. All right. As always, we hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. An early happy birthday to Luther Dupree.
Appreciate it.
And so come on back to the Boxing Authorities. Thank you.